welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Lemon Champ or Lucky Track Dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussion,
Tips, tricks,
as well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
whether it's on the spot.
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough in
Chrissy,
Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Tim.
And I'm mental.
Yay.
And we are Everyone Racers. And welcome to a mother effing MOPAR or no car episode of our podcast. Yep, it's episode 440. Dear listeners, before computers started tattling on drivers, before every engine sounded like an angry vacuum cleaner, when sex was safe and racing was dangerous, there was the mighty Dodge 440 Magnum, the definitive big block bruiser that measured horsepower in tire smoke and gallons per mile, packing 440 cubic inches of pure American attitude. This torque monster powered everything from Chargers, Challengers to Roadrunners, turning stoplights into drag strips and rear tires into consumable resources. The 440 Magnum didn't need turbochargers, drive modes, software updates, or your approval. The 440 ran on leaded fuel, bad decisions, and the unwavering belief that there was no automotive problem that couldn't be solved with more displacement. Loud, unapologetic, and built during an era when engineers answered every performance question with, make it bigger. The 440 Magnum remains one of Detroit's greatest mechanical middle fingers to practicality. Needles up.
And a lot of motorhomes too. So
And boats.
True. And now those boats and motorhomes are being rated for people that want 440s to drop in their Mopars.
Yeah. So if you aren't driving your 440 Magnum, what you working on?
Who's going to start?
Mental. I want to hear all of all of the hours.
All of the hours.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, we recorded last week, had an opportunity to go and see Carrot Top. And he has been performing in Las Vegas. He's had his current residency for like 20 years. He has been here for 25 years. Gotta say, he's still funny. It's warm. It's a personable show. He updates it. If you've never liked him, you're not going to like him now. But that was a great show, and he does not phone it in.
He old?
Oh yeah, he's in his 60s.
Yeah, he looks his age.
Oh, and he makes all of those jokes. He'll play clips of him when he was on Star Search and he lost on Star Search, and then he compares it to himself now. He makes all of those jokes.
What did he do on Star Search?
He was a comedian.
Oh, he's always been a Star Search had comedians.
Oh yeah, back in the day, very few of their winners ever went anywhere. But
you know what? I only watch the dancer. I only watch the dancers on Star Search. I'm not really sure.
So if you're coming to Vegas and you're looking for a cheap show, man, yeah, go see Carrot Top. It was awesome. And then I am getting ready to. In fact, as soon as we're done here, I got to go load up and pack, and I am headed to Bonneville because it is test and tune week at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Now, in order to run at Bonneville, you have to have a car. And I had to fetch the car because this is all part of Project 213. So Jay St. Clair and his friends had put the cage in it to make the car capable of going 150 plus legally. Last year when we ran, we didn't have a cage, so we were limited. And then it went over to Devin, and he runs a garage. He wanted to be involved in this project, so he added an oil cooler and did some other work to it. So it got a full refresh. And he was at a race in Montana because he also does like score off-road type stuff. And so I had to go get it. And that ended up being a 2,200 mile round trip that I did all at once. And
What? By yourself?
Yes.
You're craziness. That's
Yes.
crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy.
Yes, I'm mental. I mean, yeah. The
What
trick
was
is
your
not to just
phobia?
pound caffeine. You have to have a steady stream of caffeine to maintain so you never crash.
What do you listen to?
Actually, I like listening to audiobooks.
Everyone
Okay.
racers.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
I mean,
hope not.
yeah, the
That will
amazing
put- that'll
Everyone
put you
Races
to-
podcast.
That'll put you to sleep. No, but audiobooks is definitely a good idea. We did that when we drove cross country and they were actually
especially
twice, so.
some of the stuff that I'm interested in right now. So there was a book actually came from a podcast, a different non-automotive podcast, and the concept of the book is that constraints, while we love to say that we operate with freedom and we're more creative when we're free, his whole point is you're not. And great inventions and great technical advancements all come from when you have constraints. So I was listening to that. I listened to that book up there, and I'd finished another fiction book that I'd started called Blind Sight, which was a 2006 sci-fi bestseller. And then that one spawned me into two other books about this kind of constraint and freedom, creative leadership from the founder of Pixar and the work that he did, and talks about actually like the first movie to ever be made completely on a computer, which was a dream of his in the 70s, was Toy Story. And after they had done that, he realized it was not a time of success, but quite possibly the most dangerous time ever for Pixar, because they had met their goal and it was a now what. So yeah, got into that. So that's what I do. So yeah, I'll be finishing that because I get to drive to Bonneville. So,
Great.
Excellent. How about you guys? I see like Colorado-y stuff.
Colorado Adventures, yes. So I started paddleboarding last week. I'm not great at it, but we have a wonderful lake that you can only have paddleboards and kayaks. So it is very flat and very quiet. It's not quiet. It's next to the highway, truth. But it is very flat and minimal breeze. So you kind of, it'll pull you one way, but like not anything like currents, which is kind of nice. So I went on Wednesday, I think so. And then I told Chris, I was like, you have to come with me. So we went on Friday again, which was fantastic. Then Saturday we went mountain biking. That was way, way too hard for me. My legs are trashed. And I just, it was really hard. It was really up straight up a mountain, then straight down a mountain, and then straight up a mountain, and technical rocks. And I'm very slow and Chris is very fast. So I was pretty miserable, just telling you. And then we went whitewater tubing, which was super fun. It was not a lazy river. It was actual rapids. And I definitely flipped, even though I tried hard not to flip. It was great. I had a really good time.
Extreme tubing.
It kind of is. So, yeah. And then my chickens are doing great. I have my first eggs, which is super fun. So we got our first egg, which was kind of surprising. And now I have more. And we are playing the game of she's no longer, we only have one that's laying at the moment, and she is not laying in the nesting boxes. So we play the game of where is she laying eggs now? So we found a pile of 3 on a shelf. And then today and yesterday, we're playing the game of so we have some fake eggs in our nesting boxes because they say that attracts them or something.
This is where this goes. Yeah.
In theory, yes. Instead, this day 2, she's done this. Rolled out one egg from a nesting box to the other corner of the coop, sits on that one, lays another one. At first, yesterday, Chris and I see it on the camera and I was like, oh my God, we have another layer because they're 2 different colors. And I was so excited. And I got back and I was like, nope, one of these are wood and one of them is real. So it happened again today. We watched her roll it out of the box, which is like a lot of work for a chicken. And it's not close. Not like she just like kicked it. This is like rolling it around the coop. The palace, really.
Wood chips.
They're wood chips, yeah. Today, everybody came in the coop when she was laying and everybody's like, what are you doing? What, like they're either support or, I guess it was emotional support. Anyway. Oh, and then this weekend we did some Mazda work. So Chris will talk more about what we did, but we spent Sunday after we did all that adventure stuff on Saturday. We worked on the Mazda, took it out. I pulled it out of I pulled the truck out, pulled the car out, put it up on jacks, and I changed the oil. I think that's all I did. Yep. Chris.
I did the rest of the once over for the post race on the Mazda, and only thing that was a problem was something we already knew, which was the left rear caliper was hanging up. That was it. So new caliper on with the new brake line on. I think
you mentioned this in the post, but I feel like our listeners should know why, because I did not realize this.
I'm pretty sure that caliper was original to the car and the brake line.
Or at least the
too.
line. Yeah, you said the line.
Yeah, that which is 2007 and 265,000 miles. These stupid Mazda parts, they just don't last. Oh man. So
But potential cause for the hub failure? Excessive heat?
See, I mean, possibly. Yeah, maybe. So anyway, it's got a
Didn't make it
reman.
better. We know it did not
It's got
make
a
it
new
any
caliper
better.
on it, or is it reman? I don't know, whatever. It's got another caliper on it, and I saved the old one so that I could at some point put a new seal kit in it, because I think I have those in the box of spares in the trailer. But that's it. Everything else looks fine. Our tire wear was more than expected. I don't know if that is a result of the surface of HPR or the pace of some of our drivers. But
No.
definitely more tire wear than expected. I was hoping that we would get through this race and the 24 on one set of tires, because usually we could go 3 races in the Northeast on a set. And I was like, well, that's about right. I think
Not
we'll
the surface.
just barely
Definitely
get
the
through.
surface.
Yeah,
Definitely
we'll
the
just
surface.
barely get to the 24, maybe, but that means I need some spares. And so I don't have
Well,
rain tires
if
with
you
spares.
don't, then you know it was a surface, because Tim and I won't be there.
I might be there.
Okay, Tim might be there.
Maybe.
Yep. So anyway, that's it. Everything else was completely fine. No problems. Didn't even burn any oil. Car's a champ. So yeah, that's that. We gave it a wash, cleaned the windows up. That is back in the trailer. It is ready for its next foray on track. If we're probably going to do an HPD, we're hoping between now and then. But before the 24, it does need to get its lights set up. It needs the corner lights and numbers and stuff like that. Do not do those
And
yet.
theme. Re-theme?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're going to wait for a good hot day and roll it out of the trailer into the sun for a couple hours. And then that several-year-old vinyl will come off a little less cranky than it would otherwise.
We'd kicked around some ideas.
Yeah, that's.
And I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Because you like to theme long term. You don't like.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
Do it once, do it right.
right.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that idea we discussed is still on deck, or you guys go, okay, sweet.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Is it the Malort Coors shotgun golden shower theme?
Of course.
Yes, the golden shower mobile. No,
Yes.
That sends so many wrong messages.
Just like Mr. Fister. I love Mr. Fister.
yeah. Kids walking by, Dad, I want a golden shower. Shut up.
Yeah. So the Mazda being fine, back in the trailer, ready to go, moved on to the next project. I've got a couple of things to do on the Range Rover to finish that. And one of them is replace the headliner material, which was sagging from the sunroof back. So, which is not uncommon on these. So I pulled the headliner out and scraped all the sticky foam off of the headliner, which is such a wonderful thing to do. I recommend using a stiff wire brush. Like I had a crappy one that came with a welder. And so it really was like bad. I'm not going to use it for welding. So I used it for this and it ruined it, which is great. And so but it worked. And then glued on some new headliner material, which was not as flexible as I anticipated it being. And other stuff I've used in the past has been, unfortunately. So it's not a perfect job, but it's solidly better than what was there before. And for a cheap ass Range Rover, now at least it's not blowing in the breeze behind you in the car, which is all they really care about. So that is mostly done. I still need to do the sunroof shade cover and reinstall the sunroof, which is just gravity sitting in place right now because that had to come out to put some of the headliner attachment bolts in. So anyway, that'll be done shortly, leaving only 2 projects left on the Range Rover. So that's good.
You're going to do zebra stripe fabric on the sunroof shade?
See, I didn't get, they didn't have that fabric backed.
I'll send it to you.
Material.
I'll send it to you.
Great.
Rainbow camo, like the
Can you get that?
Yeah.
like the limo.
Yeah.
What we need is the zebra stripes and Nomex, because then we can do race seats out of them. So
We do.
that was apparently the hard part of getting.
Love it.
Yes.
Because people have asked.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Anyway, so things are going all right. Timmy, what are you doing?
I've been doing a lot of things. Chrissy, I've also been paddleboarding, and I have to say that my dog Stella is the best paddleboard dog ever.
Oh,
She just
good.
lays down right between my feet and just hangs out and watches.
Not surprised.
Keeps a lower
Not
center
like
of
Zoe.
gravity. It probably helps with the
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah. Unlike Zoe, who was a lunatic and would stand on the very, very edge and fall off 2 or 3 times every time we went out. So this is way easier. It's like I don't have the core exercise that I used to get when I was getting Zoe out there. So, but I ordered a bunch of car parts. So I got the non-race pads for the new to us Miata that we bought. So Amy can take it to the store and it won't go.
Yeah, we have some listener feedback about that, by the way.
Also,
When we get there.
Zoom just cut out whatever you were trying to say. So
It's the
You're trying to say,
the squeak,
that.
the stopping
Also cut
squeak
you
of the
off
race
also,
brakes.
so, yeah.
So I got those. I ordered a new condenser for the air conditioner for my Corvette, which had a crack in it. And
Isn't that in
then
California?
it is. So the Miata parts are coming to Maine, and all of the rest of these parts are on their way to California, which is the condenser for the Corvette, a aluminum flywheel, a clutch kit, a new rear main seal, a new pinion bearing, a new slave cylinder. What else did I get? All the things that go up against the motor. New flywheel bolts. Which anyone want to say? Let's play guess that price. So 8 flywheel bolts, torque to yield.
From GM?
No,
Okay.
from ZZP Performance, because you can't get them from GM anymore.
Okay.
8 bolts. Take a guess, Chrissy.
150.
Chris.
We're doing prices right rules.
Sure.
And is this before tax and shipping or all in?
Yes.
Okay.
Before everything. Just list price.
$121.
Mental.
Let's say 90, just because I want to not bust.
$1, Bob.
$1 is the right answer.
Chrissy wins. $169.
Wow.
Oof.
8 bolts.
Better
Wow.
torque to yield. You get one shot.
Ouch. You get one
don't
shot.
Repeat.
Don't
ARP
screw up
doesn't
when you
make these.
install it.
Did you get
Seriously?
more than you needed?
No.
You get
You
ARP.
should have gotten 10. I feel.
So
Okay.
yeah, they come in 8s. So I didn't want to get another $170 pack of 8.
Agreed, but
Yeah. So I am going to try to find I'm going to call some dealers up and see if somebody can track down a set of GM ones, because I'm sure they won't be that expensive, and then I'll just return these.
ARP. Like, I'm sure ARP makes these.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I also forgot, probably because my brain was damaged. Prior to Carrot Top, Pantless Matt was in town, and you can guess how that went. I'm
fine.
literally
And you went to bed early, and everything was
Yes.
quiet and nice, right?
Yeah. Early in the morning.
Sewing
Yeah.
Circle and Book Club. Yep.
his brother was in town for the same thing Corey was in town for, and then he texted me, and so I ended up meeting up with him. And I only know this because I'm closing things on the computer while we're doing all this, and the picture came up. I'm like, oh God, I forgot about all of that.
Sometimes that's best.
It's a trend item with Matt.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I'm getting all those together because I'm going back to California on the 8th of July for 5 days. So I want to try to get the car back together because it's currently disassembled in my trailer, where the differential is laying next to it and the axles are being held up by a safety wire and all the, all the post race things. So I've got to get that fixed. And then I've been trying to find a replacement for my brother-in-law's boat trailer axle. If we talked about that last summer, where the wheel fell off the trailer when we were loading it up, and it kind of munged up the splines on the axle. So this is doing investigation to try to figure out what his boat is and what his trailer is. So I think I've got that nailed down.
Trailer axles are pretty standardized for most.
This is a single axle, 4,000-pound axle. It's very unique. I was like, whoa.
It's usually just put the dimensions in each trailer and you like, all right, that'll work.
Yeah. No, so it's an easy loader trailer, and they have a bunch of different ones. So I had to find I talked to them and found the stamping, which is like in the channel of the nose of the hitch, to be able to figure out what it was, so I can get another one replaced, which is good. Doing work on the garage, unpacking everything, getting myself reorganized, figuring out where I left off last year. Did some more lighting, wiring today. And then I found a good deal on a heat press for shirts. I found one for $15. So now there's a couple companies that you can just order the vinyl transfers for like $4 a piece. So game on making our own shirts.
Okay, great. I won't order them. Just shirts or everything?
Anything you want to heat press.
Got it.
Our t-shirt game is going to be so strong. We will be mocking things as they happen at the track. Like somebody does something and then they pull off, and all of a sudden everybody's wearing a t-shirt making fun of them for this thing that just happened.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can have printers, like put them on your desk, send it to the printer, heat transfer, and like you could literally do that, which would be absolute hysterical. So
okay, great. What time is it, Chrissy?
I think it's
great. Most people have a car that they dream of driving, possibly without owning it. You could do extreme experience to drive a supercar, but what about driving a Model T for less than $100? Alvin Reyes from Jalopnik tells us about the Gilmore Car Museum in Southwest Michigan, and they can give you this opportunity for $99. Ford sold 15 million Model Ts between 1909 and 1927. Remains one of the best-selling cars in history, and the first car that brought the automobile to the masses. You don't just open the door, climb in, and drive the Model T, which is why the Gilmore Museum's driving school has expert instructors to teach students the rudiments of driving a Model T, and you'd better be paying attention since the controls will drive you nuts.
Drove a Model T once for like 20 feet, and you have to like accelerate with the turn signal.
Hold on. He's getting there. Hold on.
Yeah, it's more like a tractor than a modern car by any way. So what happens is the three pedals, not like they're today, and there are multiple stalks to maneuver. One is the throttle, one is the ignition advance. One pedal is like low gear and letting it out of low gear, and one pedal is high, you're getting into that, and the brake might be somewhere in there. It's all ridiculous.
And so what you think of as the clutch pedal is actually like a 2-stage. All the way to the floor is
high and low.
One thing, halfway up is one thing, all the way. Yeah.
They didn't really have much in the way to go on when they built this. This is what it is. It wasn't until many years. Like the Model A was the first Ford that had like standard-ish controls.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the driving experience is a 3.5-hour tutorial, driving the car, a tour of the grounds, and more, all for just $99. Gilmore Car Museum started as a private collection of Kalamazoo businessman Donald Gilmore. It opened its doors on July 31st, 1966, with 35 cars, including a 1913 Rolls-Royce, a 1920 Pierce Arrow, and a 1927 Ford Model T. Now, the location includes 90 acres and over 500 cars. So if you're passing through Michigan or you happen to live there, take a trip to this unique experience.
Hella cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really is. Oops. Sorry.
Do you want to read the next?
Snapping on the job here. Damn it. Just get to the notes,
Blue, you're
Michael.
my boy.
I know. All right. Unfortunately, folks, Mother Nature has taken away another iconic museum and parts distributor. Torchinsky, over at the Autopian, tells the very sad story of the total loss of all the buildings at Mid-America Motorworks. This happened because of a large tornado. It was in Effingham, Illinois. Mid-America Motorworks was a hub for air-cooled VW parts and everything Corvette. They had very popular catalogs, which a lot of people just read for fun. I'm a VW guy. I'm just getting into air-cooled, and I was taken away by this. Now, according to sources close to the location, the museum is gone. The 1910 gas station was leveled, and all other buildings are substantially damaged. Cars smashed by caved-in ceilings. That's always a sad sight. The tornado hit in the middle of the night, so blessedly, no one was on the property, and hence no one was hurt. But it is a sad day to have lost some irreparable.
Replaceable, how about?
Thank you. Let's go with irreplaceable, which, makes a lot more sense. Buildings. See, it's not just you, Chrissy. We all screw it up when somebody else writes the copy.
I know it. Thank you. Thanks for Thanks for identifying this.
But
we lost a lot of shit is what happened.
It is. And I remember seeing these because it was in some of the VW stuff. So here's they got all these old Corvettes and cool stuff. But unfortunately, every car got smashed. So that's just sad.
I think I saw later, because I wrote this a couple days ago, but I'm pretty sure there was a couple, the news was we pulled a Corvette that wasn't so bad out of the rubble. So most of them are just gone.
If you can,
tornadoes, poor Corvettes.
If a Corvette can get pulled out of a sinkhole and fixed, it can get out from underneath.
They'll probably find one or two, but for the most part, it seems to be smashed.
So.
Okay, on more fun news, I love Waymo news. I look for Waymo news. This week, 4,000 Waymos are being recalled for continuing to drive through areas that are blocked off, like construction zones. Emmett White from Road and Track brings us the news that there will be 3,900 less Jag FI paces on the roads near you. The recall, which was filed by the NHTSA on June 17th, includes 3,870 more Jaguar I-Paces units and focuses on Waymo operating software. Federal regulators estimate that 100% of the 3,871 units are liable to suffer from this issue. The core of this issue lies with the driver programming, which is tuned to prioritize avoiding other freeway hazards over closed construction areas, according to the recall documents. Quote, under certain circumstances, the AV may enter and drive at speed in freeway construction zone due to inappropriate prioritization of the avoidance of other freeway hazards and or failing to recognize the construction zone. Quote, the recall notice reads, specifically, the AVs failed to recognize and drove past ramp closures ramp closure signs into pre-planned freeway construction zones. The remedy is currently in progress and will be implemented as soon as it's ready. In the meantime, Waymo has limited certain freeway driving access to minimize these incidents.
See the Waymo on the closed ramp. What,
people they didn't see your little phone.
I wonder what those Waymo's boys going to be up to next.
As long as somebody gets in the back seat and slides in through the window. Okay, what time is it?
It's time for me to show you my junk.
There you go.
Oof.
Whoa. All right. Well, we've seen this listing before, but I'm too lazy to search. And what we haven't seen, though, is the new price. This is a fully caged 1998 Chevy S10 extended cab. Runs and drives. It can be yours for only $2,000. And I bet you he'll take less. Motivated. Teams always asking how to get started in lemons. Well, here you go. Highlights from this very extensive listing. 4 hours of runtime. It starts, runs, drives, stops. Frame looks good. Brand new suspension bits. Bushing's already done. The engine's a modified LN2. It's got a cam. It's got competition cam valve springs. Ported polished cylinder heads. Headers. It's got a 6,200 RPM soft red line. 7,200 hard red line, new trans, Replace the synchros in it. Stage 2 clutch with hydraulic throwout bearing. Polished and braided clutch lines. Energy suspension poly bushings. Lakewood traction bars. 4-corner Beltec nitrogen shocks. Corbeau seat 5-point harness. SFI approved self-crushing steering wheel mount. Factory tilt Chevy steering column. Drilled and slotted rotors. Oversized front and rear caliper mounts. A 1998 Pontiac Firebird 10-bolt rear end, GM Performance, 343 ring and pinion, and 15 picks because he didn't cheap out and got the pro membership. This is a steal. It's in Michigan. It's only $2K. Buy this. Save yourself the trouble of having to cage a car.
That's well more than that in parts, but I'm surprised they put that much work into a 4-cylinder S10. But hey,
Well, you can do something better than that, though.
yeah. But
Or
it's,
you just
almost
drive it
anything
till
else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
learn to
exactly.
It
drive.
explodes. Yeah.
Learn to
things
manage
are-
speed.
The rest of the S10 is quite durable, especially with the limited amount of power that has. It's like,
Yeah.
Michigan,
Pull
there might
together
be
really
hard
well.
to find those parts, actually, because things rust and stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
They've made so many. Rock Auto has everything you want for about $28.
All right. It's upcoming races time.
Lemons is at the Nelson's Ledges Road Course this weekend, June 27th to 28th. There are, I'm disappointed in you Midwest people, 36 cars.
Yeah.
Come on. This is not
There's
an AER
only-
race.
Look at the percentage, though. It's
Right.
so good.
Yeah.
This is how we know it's not an AER race. There's 4 BMWs, which is great. 2 Mazdas, 2 Hondas, 2
Oh,
Porsches,
Miatas, but find it. Yes.
a Volvo 142, a Grand Marquis, a Volvo Amazon, a Nissan Versa, like Eclipse GT. So,
No. You have to keep reading.
well, we've met these people plenty of times.
Oh, did we?
You can just call-
Yeah, they were at
these are the
the
people that
airport.
did the Notia theme, the asking about maturity
Oh,
test
I
score.
didn't realize
They did
that's
the
what.
Notia theme at pit race
Oh,
many times.
Got it. Okay.
Nice people.
They
Yeah.
didn't realize
Yeah,
that's who
great
they were.
people.
They did the Needles Up theme from
And
IMSA too.
They locked
Never
out, tagged out everything in the paddock when they did
Oh,
OSHA,
that's I
Right.
forgot. I didn't realize
including
it was their
Lauren's
team name.
wheelchair.
I didn't realize it was their team name. Sorry.
And we had people like, actually, is this for real? Because I passed tech.
Those guys are great.
Yeah.
All right. Champ is at Sebring Under the Stars this weekend. 80 cars. 18 of them are BMWs. It's not too bad.
Boring.
Oh, here we go. 26
Oh.
Miatas.
Oh, so boring.
Oh,
Ooh.
2 Hondas, 9 Porsches, Mark II GTI, a Ford Ranger, a Sentra, and like nothing else interesting.
Now there's also Lucky Dog at VIR, and I failed to get the entry list, but we know Ranger Road's going to be there. Good luck. Be safe. And finally, we even have AER. They are at Summit Point. 32 cars, 18 BMWs, 5 Miatas, 3 Hondas, 3 Porsches, and it's the rest of them is like Mustangs and
Like,
Yep.
that's it.
That's it.
That's all of
Corvettes.
the
Yep,
cars.
that's it. Yep. Boring. Okay, we're going to move right along to listener feedback time. All right. So as we were working on the mighty Mazda 3, I just posted a picture of or a video of Chris working on it. And on Facebook, I asked, what you working on? Al Jones said my new Honda was ready for its first oil change. I was delighted to find out the drain plug was accessible without removing the skid plates. I was done in 15 minutes. Maybe, okay. Which is awesome because that never happens ever, but maybe sometimes somebody's actually figuring it out. Paul Davenport was working on his Legends cars. He was fixing every loose nut except for the one behind the wheel. And Charlie Putt was wondering what was up with the car now, mileage-wise. Has it broken 300,000? And I was like, no, not even close.
265. 266, actually.
266.
Getting there.
I keep just like making the number go up. Like we must be racing a lot, so it's got to be a lot. I don't go to 300. 300,000 will make it.
It hit 266 while Chrissy was driving at HP.
I was looking down. I was looking up.
Eyes up, woman.
I was trying.
Well, and from our winning pick from High Plains on Facebook, Blake Wright said, well, Mental looks a little too presentable in this picture. And Eric Kritzler said, Tim, I look forward to feeling bad about all the things that I didn't fix or knew were issues on the Miata every week. I hope you have fun, and it was fantastic to see 3/4 of you again in New Jersey. It was like old times, yet totally different. Thanks to Chris for fixing the Garage Heroes in Training Civic so that we could window the block a few moments later. Oh, and I almost am disappointed I didn't get a black flag with that judge lineup.
Indeed. I went to, when I got the go get the car, I rented a 2500 from Hertz, and this has not been a problem in the past, but apparently this time, after going through their check-in menu 3 times, and each time having to say, no, I'll pay for my own gas. I've got insurance. It's fine. I don't need a baby seat. I don't need toll roads. They said, oh, you don't have one. So the whole skip the counter became go to 3 counters. And I put a picture of that and said, make this make sense, Hertz. Brett Wade said, try Turo if you've never heard of them. You'll get the exact car you booked. And I love Turo, but a lot of them have mileage limits on them. And I don't think anyone wanted me to Turo their Super Duty and drive it across 4 states, 2,200 miles round trip. Mike Pinataro said, National is the only rental company. Emerald Isle is great. And Chris says that all the time because he's still like high end. For
I
all
agree.
His travels.
Me too.
IMSA driver and national MX5 Cup competitor Brian Dobrowski. Hertz wronged me a few times many years ago, and I promised I would never go back. Michael K was telling me that the only way to get that Super Duty was with their Hertz commercial account, which normally, yes, but here at the airport, they normally do have those trucks. So this is the first time and it wasn't even the issue of all of that. Just like, why make me go through the menu? Just go up and go, hey, you know what? It's not here. You're going to need to go to the counter instead of like making me go to the counter deductively. Our buddy Amanda Tully said they screwed me when I went to Daytona. Never again. She means it. She'll walk someplace now. That girl's stubborn. Dana Hilliker said, I paid for a Charger or a 300 or a Vic a few years ago, and they gave me a damn Passat. I was pissed. That was the last time I rented a car with them. How can I do donuts in the snow in Buffalo with a friggin' Passat? Valid criticism. And also Dustin, because Hertz replied to me on Instagram and said, let us know how we can help. Messages. And I did, and then nothing happened. And Hertz Dustin replied directly at Hertz on our post, said, you did this to me with a minivan rental 2 weeks ago. It was easier to make a new reservation with another vendor. I'm not so mad that I'm never going to rent from Hertz again. I'm just really, really annoyed. And I booked it and paid for it. And then they made me go through the line. And for some reason, because I had to go through the line, now they needed a deposit. And it just got sillier after that. And I ended up paying for it through Hertz and getting it through Dollar. But, you know, upside
you can take the reservation, but you can't keep the reservation.
Right. Do you know what a reservation is? Yeah. Are you going to be needing? Oh, I'm going to need all the insurance.
Like Mike said, National is basically the overall company. Like,
they're great.
Yep.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep. We've turned other people onto it. Like it's the only way to go.
Or the one time we went to a Lemons event and Kim booked the car, and it was like, I have to go talk to someone. Why?
Ew.
It took me 20 minutes to to show them what, they're like, what's your flight back? Why do you need that? Oh, we need to see it. And I told her the flight number, but that doesn't work. Well, I don't know how I can read it to you differently. It's the flight number.
You're like, when are you bringing it back? Sunday. Okay, great. That's all you need to know.
Value to this process. Zero.
Correct. And you know all the answers. You're going to be like, you're not selling me on anything just because I'm standing in front of you. Do you want that? No. Do you want this? No. Do you want no? Like, I already know the answers to your questions.
Yeah. I seriously doubt that.
The keys. Yeah. Give me the keys.
I doubt that anyone from Hertz is listening to this, but I will. So when I went to the final counter, I went up and I looked at the guy, and I'm trying to not dump on him. He's just the guy behind the counter. I'm like, so, dude, what happened here? This is paid for. I'm done. And after going through this menu, you guys don't have the truck. And he goes, because Hertz is a bankrupt zombie company being run by criminals and thieves.
Wow.
I love your refreshing honesty. All right. Okay. Well,
Noted.
Figure it out from here, bud.
Employee of the month.
You should write him a review.
So they send you the how'd it go, and I'm like, this sucked and this sucked. But Chuck was a delightful person who offered me a lot of solutions and was very forthcoming with information.
Good. I'm glad.
Good job, Chuck.
Boy, Chuck.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, Hertz doesn't have any spares, but we sure do.
We
That's
do.
what we're talking about
It's
this weekend.
Paddock time.
That
Let's
was
go.
an epic segue. That may have been one of your best ever.
We're talking about spares. Because when you go to the racetrack, you're probably going to break something. And if you have another one, it greatly increases your chances of having a good weekend. As we've all been there. You're at the track, something's broken, and you don't have it. And now you're playing iPhone Kung Fu, trying to find which part store has it. Or before then, you're calling around. All right, when can you get it? Where is it? What's going on? Right? It's terrible. And you end up sitting out for hours while someone goes and runs parts. And some of these tracks we go to are in the middle of nowhere, where the closest civilization is an hour, 2 hours away, at least. So there you go. It's terrible. So you need to bring some spares weighted to the track. So we're going to talk about what kind of things to bring, how to prep them, how to organize them, how to store them, all that kind of stuff. And great example. Last race at HPR, hub broke. Like, yeah, okay, I got one of those. That's not going to take that long. Where otherwise we'd be sitting there searching every parts store's website on our way back to Denver, trying to figure out, okay, who's got the thing? Yeah, no. Just as soon as it cooled off, we changed it, send it back out. Done.
Yep. We went and did goofy things in front of the judges while the car was cooling down. And then
I look at Chris and I was like, should we be working the car? He was like, no, it's fine. I mean,
it's hot. It's a racing brake and bearing. I don't want to touch it right now. Like, I could get some welding gloves and do it, but we're not going to win anything. So we'll just wait.
Yeah. Had we been like in threat of a podium, that would have been a welding glove job done immediately.
Sure.
Yeah.
We went to work on the thing that we were going to win.
Yes.
Correct.
Which was theming.
Yeah. That's correct. So let's talk about general categories of things you're going to need. First up is fluid, belts, maintenance stuff, and consumables. You never know when you're going to need any of those things. Next up, wear items. Then stuff that you've broken before. We all have that list of, that's broken before. So buy two and keep one around.
I want to sneak this quote in here because it's a great place for it. But DJ914 said back when he was driving those CIS injected VWs, he never left anywhere without high pressure fuel hose because those metal lines rusted. New York winters and DAPOs and all the other environmental issues always had him with a few breakdowns. And the one he was most proud of was on the Massachusetts Turnpike, and he was watching his fuel gauge drop. So he makes it to a rest stop, rolled it up on a curb, climbed underneath it, figured out, and the pressure accumulator had rusted through the metal lines. But because Eric had a 1-inch line of high pressure hose, he was able to bypass the accumulator and get it back on the road.
Fantastic.
Who knew?
All right, next up, stuff that's impossible to get. It's like, I know that if this part breaks, I am screwed and I am never getting another one. You can get them. Get them now. Things that are likely to break. Okay, great. Get those. Have them ready, just so you know. And also small stuff that's going to take you off the track. Those are even easier to get and keep because you need those. Right?
Yep.
Yes. And then there was the Last of the Furious, our buddy Alex down in Texas had a...
Yeah, what did he say, Methel?
I'll throw it in there so you can do it. Sorry. But Amazon Fuel Pump, he buys the Chinese version of the Walbro 255 for all of the Honda projects. They last exactly 1 year. And at $40 a pop, it's always worth having one or two and keeping the glove box when it fails, and it will. But that's knowledge of what's going to keep you off track, a cost-benefit analysis, and they don't take up much space.
Will they last you for as long as you need it for the rest of the race?
Yep.
Or whatever you're looking for.
Now, you also, we talk about the consumables, and this is an investment, but you need a pair of wheels and tires. You get a cut. We lost a race one time because Chris took a piece of safety wire into a sidewall, of all things. And it was just that stop was enough, but you had spare wheels and tires.
Wire.
Yeah.
You guys did a great pit stop on that, but it's just like, really? Of anything? Stupid wire in the sidewall?
Yeah. Brake pads, at least one rotor per axle. Now, fluids. Fluids are cheap and easy, but so enough to fill anything that holds fluid on your cars, particularly if you're using a lot of your flaps may not have the brake fluid you need. You know, they're big .3 people, but .3 ain't going to cut it a lap. So, and then just anything that your car seems to wear through, plugs, fuel filters, anything like that. Now down here, he's going to comment on it, but our buddy, Michael K, talked about on the Dustbuster, it was a known good coil pack because it was a GM, the GM minivan that he had. And on his 47 Plymouth, it's those grade 8 bolts for the Panhard bar because he chews those up. Now, he also adds, more telling is that most of your cars over the years have a tool zip tied to the cage as it only has one purpose, and it is only used on that car. Leave it back in the garage and you cannot remove one of the spark plugs and you have to find a 35 millimeter deep well socket, or you can't change brake rotors on a Corvette C5 upgrade brake kit you did. So it's those specialty tools also. So having spares of those that you keep in the car no matter what.
Or you know exactly where they are in the toolbox. It's like, I know where that tool is. It's here.
Unless somebody borrows it.
Yep.
In case of emergency, break glass.
Yeah.
All right. So wear items. These are things that move and by nature wear out. And you never quite know how long you're going to have on some of these. So these are things like bearings, wheel bearings, hubs. They spin. They're under a huge amount of stress in what we do that they're not designed for on the street. They're going to fail. And you don't really know when they're going to fail. They could feel perfectly fine Saturday morning, and by Saturday afternoon, they're done. So you need new ones to keep going all weekend. So you can't really keep going on trash bearings. And our tip is have them loaded into whatever suspension component they go into if they're press-in bearings. So like all the front-wheel drive cars have the press-in cartridge
How many
bearings.
press-in bearings have we done at the track?
4.
Mm-hmm.
And the things I have used to press in bearings include the trailer hitch of Greg's diesel pusher RV, because nothing else was heavy enough in the paddock that moved, including a rear end of a Dodge 3500. The grandstands at New Hampshire Motor Speedway make a great thing to press against with a floor jack. There was a full dumpster at CMP that I used. There's something else, but like that's the kind of things you're using to press it. And it's
you're looking for the heaviest thing that can move and maneuver well enough to be able to press against.
That has a space just right to fit a floor jack and a bearing and a knuckle. Yeah.
It's miserable.
It is.
Really?
Terrible. That's why I just bring the loaded knuckles now, because they've got a new bearing, a new hub, if I can get it, with good ARP studs in it, a new ball joint if it has it, and it's ready to bolt on. Entire assemblies are great because they take much less time to change and get you going again, and then you're ready to go. So, so I said wheel bearings. This also goes for hubs too. If we've had a lot of problems with hubs, I'm trying to go for new hubs instead of trying to reuse the used ones now, if possible, depending on how well they come apart. And I'm experimenting between aftermarket and Mazda hubs, so we'll see how that goes. Ball joints we talked about. And the other thing I do with anything that moves and is greasable, like wheel bearings and ball joints and tie rods, is I take them apart when I get them, and I put better grease in them than what they come with. Because again, not designed for our kind of stuff. So like in a ball joint in the Mazda, it's really just undo the little spring around the boot, pull the boot back, and then using a little screwdriver, I just jam a bunch more grease in it, working around, do that a couple of times, and it's got better quality, more quantity grease, and it's going to last longer. For wheel bearings, you use a really heavy duty grease, that's 800 degree wheel bearing grease from a racing company, and that stuff seems to work. So anyway.
That was actually a suggestion we got from Michael K some time ago regarding trailer bearings, is do that ahead of time
Mhm.
and then seal them in a vacuum bag. So they're already so if you're doing it at the track or God forbid on the side of the road, it goes a lot smoother and it's got the
Great
proper
idea.
grease.
Even if you don't need to have a vacuum bag, just a good double Ziploc bag, and in the tape to it some nitrile gloves because you're gonna need them. So,
Oh, wow. You be so set.
Yeah.
like Chrissy loves that I put gloves in every car. She's like, "Oh, I need gloves."
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
here they are.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome.
Comes in handy. And then, and one of our listeners at Cord 762 said, "Effing tie rod ends. I'm not even sure what the car they're for, but they come with me every time." Yep.
Wow. Okay.
You could use the Rock Auto part search button. Put the part number in and see what they go for. That'd be great.
It's a good idea.
But I agreed.
And label.
And last are like durable items that can wear out, but are going to keep the car off the track. Things like a water pump, if you don't know when it's been replaced. Fuel pump, just always have a spare. Power steering pump, maybe if it's kind of thing that you need to, like it's a GM car and you can't run it without it, have one. Anything like that. Have them be ready to go.
Also, how about things that have failed before? Like distributors on older Hondas, fuel pumps for Chevy S10s, wheel bearings and hubs for the Mazda, fuel injectors for the K24, CV axles for F-Drive cars, ignition coil packs for basically everything, a few spare wheel studs, calipers if they're prone to overheating, spare pads. Keep your old used pads. Those are great if you need a little pinch.
You could ask Chris about this.
There's so many 1/3 life pads in the box in the trailer. I'm gonna start using them. Like I'll get
so
a day out
much.
of these, and then we switch. Yeah.
When you're looking for spares, you start digging
like
through, and you're like, "Oh, I have more of these and more."
You come in and like the pad is completely missing from your Honda.
Because it just left.
Just bye.
Front pad has left a chat.
That happened.
Yep. Rob Bear said head gasket because turbo Volvo.
Yeah, why not?
Tim, what's the list of stuff that's failed on the Solstice? You gotta have a good
S
there.
plural. Yes.
So the Solstice has been interesting. It's very different between the 2.4 and then the turbo car. The thing that the Solstice is the biggest troubling thing was always the brakes, which we fixed by going to the Corvette brake setup. But it was spare rotors, spare pads, and make sure all of that is tight and tidy. And then it was always weird things that would happen with it, as far as like just old GM stuff, like wires getting baked over the manifold, and so things like that. So I didn't have a ton of failures on that. But you talk about the El Camino, have a spare engine and transmission and differential and shift cable and
this is quite the list.
So many. Just the whole drivetrain. Just bring a whole drivetrain. So that's been
together. Just slide it.
That's been something different. We did have a pretty terrifying failure in the 25-hour, which was the master cylinder for the brakes. The diaphragm failed on that. So if you are running an E30 but are running a 7 Series master cylinder that are really hard to find, maybe you should have one of those in the trailer, Jimmy. So
yeah, Jimmy. All right, ready to move on?
Moving on.
Easy and small. Keep them around just in case. Caps for everything. Oil, brake reservoir, radiator. Never hurts. It's not usually
when you're at the junkyard. Just I need 4 of these. The stuff you put in your pocket, you're not paying for anyway.
It's not usually. Don't say that out loud. It's not usually.
You did pay for it. The $2 for admission that includes small things that fit in your pocket.
You're not wrong. Justification. I like it. And it's never usually the cap, but sometimes it's a good idea to just change it if you're having problems. Brake hose and piece of brake hardline already flared with ends. How smart is that? Because chances are you're not bringing these things with you, and you probably forgot the pieces to make them flared. Nobody brings that with them to the track to like actually do flaring. So yeah, bring things like that.
Long, you just loop it. It's fine.
You can figure it out. It's better than nothing. Major molded coolant hoses. Yeah, it's a good one. That's one of those things. Just like buy two, add one to your race car. Or your spares, and sensor like crank and cam position, because if they go bad, then it takes you out. So, okay. Quoted Al Jones says the kill switches that a lot of us use on our cars have removable red plastic key to turn the switch. We never actually remove ours from the switch, but one time we towed the car in an open trailer. For some reason, the key fell out and the kill switch and must have been blown out the window or something. It was gone. Obviously, it was in there when we drove it onto the trailer, but now we have no way to start the car and drive it off. If you jam a screwdriver into the keyhole, it will activate the switch, but you have to keep it pressed in or the engine turns off. Good enough to back off the car off the trailer, but no way we could race this way. Fortunately, we had an extra switch with the key buried in one of our parts bins. When I got home, I ordered a 5-pack of spare kill switch keys and always keep one in the tow vehicle, one in the toolbox, one in the parts bin, etc. It's great.
So we tie ours to the actual ignition key of the car.
So they go together.
Something else in the car so that it can't leave. Yeah.
And Mike Pitnero said, I bring an entire spare kill switch with us to the track. I had them go bad or get flat key. Flaky. Excuse me, flaky. It was worth having a backup in your totes of spares.
Hey,
thank you.
Just at Jersey, Tom Lamino switch got bad.
Yep.
Worth it.
Mm-hmm. All right. You know what else you need? Universal stuff that not only you can use, but all the other Lemons knuckleheads can use, like an assortment of rubber hoses and clamps and nuts and bolts and wires, connectors, fittings, relays, switches, cotter pins, like all of the little things, like an O-ring, a packet of like brass washers, like all the little things that you're like, man, I really wish I could have one of those right now that don't take up any room. Put them in a bin, bring them with you. Hit Model 103 said, worker, I always have my previous set of wipers in the trunk. Years ago, I lost a wiper during a winter road trip more than 20 miles away from an exit directly into a town where I knew I could buy a replacement on the spot. I'd rather have a worn wiper than a scratched windshield and one-sided visibility, or worse, hardly large cargo.
And wipers are like $8 on Rock Auto when you're already doing other things. Toss in a couple wipers.
Mm-hmm.
Around here is like it rained today, and usually like wipers are an annual wear item, and you realize you need them when it rains and they just like fall apart because they're cooked to the windshield. So
we might have had this issue because it didn't rain here much. Yeah.
Doesn't rain here much either. And when it does, I usually have to go buy a set of wipers.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about it. We're going through these actual spares, and you guys gave us a lot of interest, but this comes down to it's having a spares package, and that is going to evolve depending on how hard you are pushing over a weekend, or what your budget looks like, or how good your team is, because your car is going to break. And when it does, you either have the part, you got to source the part, or you can't get it and you're done. Only by having the part do you get the most on your track time or get to continue on your rally, your road trip, whatever it is. Local sourcing, as we talked about, sometimes that gets a little rough. There is a cheat code to this. If you know, like at CMP, that there's a good large parts store, you can actually call and pre-order all the parts. They will ship it to that store, but you don't buy it. And then if you don't go to that store and pick it up, it gets shipped back to the warehouse. We got that cheat code from Lemons Racers, who are Big Flaps employees. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't bother us. We still get paid the same. So there's that one. But it's can get expensive, and it is almost always inconvenient. So we're talking about how to get a good spares package to minimize your downtime at like most levels.
Totally.
The essentials. Go ahead.
Order from Amazon. Have it. Return it if you don't need it.
I'll keep
Yep.
it.
Or keep it.
Yeah, realistically, just put that rock auto rotor in early and just keep it. Anyway.
You know what question a lot of newbies ask? How many tires and brakes do I need,
Yes.
for racing? Well, it depends on what you're running, but the answer is always more than one set. There was a team in Jersey that had 4 tires on their, I think they had an Accord, and they ran something. Oh no,
It was the Fiesta.
No, it was a different one.
Oh, the Fiesta did the same.
Fiesta also
and
had only 4 tires.
Yes, correct.
The hub failed, and it punctured as it bounced around. The tire fell off, and as it bounced around, it blew the inner wall of the wheel apart. And I was like, "Do you guys have a spare tire?" And they're like, "No, we only have the 4 that are on the car." And they were like, mucho macho 600 treadwear tires.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Well." There's like, we're trying to find one in one of the auto parts stores. So I was like, you should go and start looking at all of the local pick and pulls and Facebook Marketplace, because that's a better place to find those things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
bring them with you.
The
Bring 'em with
Fiesta
you.
had the same problem. Remember, we were talking to them and getting tacos from them, like late for
Yep.
tacos, and
Yep.
they were like, "Yeah, we only brought these 4." And they were 13s, and I was pretty much with Sumotomos on them.
Titanium tires.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And they lost a wheel. Fortunately, they were all excited because there was nothing wrong with the wheel. Once they fixed it, they could still use it. But the one guy was like, "Yeah, my wife was saying, like, are you sure you don't want more wheels and tires?" And they're like, "No, we're fine." And she's like, "I think you need more." And they're like, "No, we're good."
When your partner is telling you to get a spare or
Yep.
giving you permission to get spares, get the damn spares.
Do it.
Yeah.
That's
Do
partner approval. Are you kidding? Yeah. Don't be an idiot.
And definitely brake pads. Like, first of all, put good fluid in it and put good pads on. If you're running like Napa Gold pads, like, you better bring a box of those things, because those things are going to disappear like cotton candy in a rainstorm.
Oh,
So
God, yeah.
make sure you've got plenty of those.
Wagner quiet stops.
No.
Will work for a couple laps,
They're
maybe.
organic. They're made of wood.
What can't it do?
And what it does come down to on any of these street pads you're buying, and like because there's a school of thought, oh, it's like the tires. If I don't get that, like the high performance stuff, it'll keep us slow. No, regular brake pads are not meant to operate in this temperature range, and they disintegrate. They literally do melt.
Yep.
Yeah, get good pads. We've always run ST43s from Rebestos. We know they will last more than one race, but always check them to make sure there's enough pad life and something funky isn't going on, and you've got like uneven pad wear because the back part of your caliper or your emergency brake's hanging up or something weird.
This outer pad looks totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
The inner pad's
one?
missing.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But when you take them off, like, keep the old ones. They're great if you're in a bind and you've got to just, hey, I've got 3 hours left to get through the weekend. Let me put these on. Same thing with wheels and tires. We know the Hankook RS4s will last more than a race, unless it's at High Plains, apparently. But bring a full set of spares, because you never know when someone's brother will flat spot them, or some rando will drop his grill into your tires and cut them down. Always have them mounted, because you don't want to be hunting for a tire installer Sunday morning in West Bumble Truck.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the spare brake pads, slightly less than a full weekend left on them with tires will work as spares if you aren't really serious, and you're okay with dealing with crappy tires that aren't going to perform very well. Wheels, they are consumables. Check them for cracks. We've cracked many and retired several sets. Matt had a Corvette wheel fail where all of the spokes broke off.
That was scary to watch.
Terrifying. So yeah, make sure you inspect those things.
That's why the Mazda has new wheels this year. When you guys noticed that, because the other ones that lived their life, and one of them had a crack on one spoke, and they were all the same age and mileage. It's like, all right, well, these are done.
And you found a couple at the track on the old Honda, I believe. You found, and sometimes they're hairline cracks. So like you got to look hard for them. But yeah, Chris has found a couple that have been kind of scary that you realize that we've been driving with for a while. So yeah.
Put them on the back. They'll be fine.
Yeah. The back end of the car comes around. What can go wrong?
I mean, the back end of a front drive car didn't really do anything.
It does when there's then the hub breaks.
Yeah.
Then it drives by itself.
Still held it up
magically.
It's like the steering in the back of the fire truck breaks.
Someone drunk is back there doing it.
Scary.
Okay. Big and pricey. Should you bring a spare powertrain? Well, it depends. It takes up a lot of space. It's not going to be cheap. How easy is it, and how good are you at swapping it at the trackside? How likely is it to fail, etc.? Last year at the 25, the Toyota team out of Indiana. Now they have their spare motor, but their spare motor they keep taking out to put in the built for this race motor, which keeps popping, and then they throw the spare motor back in there. But there's 45 of them, and they can do it in less than an hour. So you think about this in the terms of how much this is going to cost you. Is it easy to find these things? Do you have storage? And how good is your team at organizing this? Our buddy Adam, the neurotic version of me that is probably responsible for our high percentage race finish rate, could never answer this question. This led to our trailer having sometimes as much as an entire parts car broken down, packed in bins, rolling the road in the trailer with us. This is an extra 2,000 pounds of stuff and an extra 1 to 2 miles per gallon more for fuel for every one of those long haul races. But if I had to pick one thing that has saved our bacon, not a part, but our welder, along with a healthy assortment of fabrication tools. On a side note, he mentions that ratchet straps do not work as spare differential mounts. Ask him how he knows.
Welder is such a thing. I'm sorry to cut you off. Having a welder. It's funny because people were asking me, at least me, at New Jersey, where our team was, because Bruce always has a welder, and sometimes Bruce is fixing cars that are like they're lined up to use the welder or get his help or something like that. I mean, if you have the capacity, if you're a good welder and you have the space, bring it, and you will get more praise and love from people, because it is
a great way to build karma. If you know what
Friday
you're doing.
to Sunday. I mean, it saves people from passing tech, things that you thought were going to pass tech that don't, and then all the way through the weekend. Yes, a welder is a great one if you can.
The West Coast, we're very spoiled because we have Erica.
Right. Yes. On the East Coast, we have Bruce.
Yeah. East Coast, you have Bruce.
Pretty much. Bruce complain.
Yes. But he usually does it.
Anybody.
Yeah. When he wasn't there, everybody was like, now what? Like, where do I go now?
Well, I suggested your local community college where you could take a welding course and start.
Oh, well, if you could weld it, but if you don't have the welder with you, then you can't weld. So, okay.
All right. So you need these parts. Where are you going to get them? And the answer is not at the auto parts store the day you need them. You get them ahead of time.
Not great.
So my favorite source is Rock Auto. They're just so cheap compared to the flaps.
Ask your friends for a coupon code.
Go to Grassroots Motorsports. There's an entire thread that they just put them in there.
I pretty much always have one, and I contribute to that thread very often. So 5% off. And you can pick whatever quality of parts you want. They have sometimes OEM. Like I bought a lot of OE GM parts from Rock Auto for dirt cheap. Great. B, you can select, pick for me to minimize cost for shipping among you pick 5 different ones. Hey, these are all quality. Okay, fine, take that. Avoid the economy, avoid the daily driver stuff, get the better quality parts. They're still way cheaper. And look at the little shipping truck icon next to the parts after you ordered some parts in your cart, and you can get stuff shipping from the same place. But it's amazing how much cheaper things like brake rotors are. And buy every time
windshield wiper,
oil filters, right? Windshield wipers.
Basically, you get one for each car.
My clutch was half price of any of the other websites that I found it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Half price.
Same brand too, probably.
GM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say?
Rock Auto.
I don't remember. Whatever.
Things you buy from Rock
Get
Auto.
stuff from Rock Auto because it's just so much easier.
Do it.
Oh, the discount, the closeouts. Once you select your car, you can select a button that says "Show me all of the closeouts for this car," and that's where you buy the $3 oil filters and $18 brake calipers and stuff like that. Where it's well, I don't need that now. I got control arms for the Mazda that way, which we go through them every couple of races. We go through a front control arm ball joint combo. So they were Delphis, which are decent, and they were I think $22 each. So I bought 4 of them. It's well, I'm going to need these eventually. Buy them now. eBay actually can be a source for some unique parts that I've found fairly well. So give that a shot. Yep. Surprisingly, but you're all right there.
Well, hey, I sold a whole interior of a car for somebody who's looking for a windshield or sun visor or an ocean handle.
Totally.
Yeah. So some people just have parts car. Yeah, I love it.
Charge tubes for a Solstice.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Modules for things. I brought up, electronic module for the Mercedes there. It's a reasonable source for unique used parts. Forums or Facebook, if you have to. I mean, especially if there is a forum that still is around for your particular car,
join it.
Is where the weird, obscure parts for your old car are going to be. Keep an eye on that.
I've got a guy on the Solstice forum that's literally making me an adapter. He's designing 3D printing an adapter to go on top of the brake master cylinder, because Solstice and GM and their infinite wisdom designed the brake master cylinder to where the cap goes on is at a 40-degree angle facing towards the front of the car. So every time you get hard on the brakes, it shoves all of the fluid up against the cap and weeps out. So GM had an aftermarket cap that you would screw on. It was a 1.5 inch extension that would go right on top of that. So he's basically remaking what that is, but a little bit larger so it can hold a little more fluid, because it shares the clutch and brake system share that same canister of fluid. So terrible design.
Excellent. Junkyards, always great, especially for those unobtainium parts second generation Integra hubs that we used on our 89 Civic. They were only available in the junkyard. Okay. And that's where you get your big assemblies. That's where you get your suspension knuckles and stuff like that you need to have your spares package ready to go. Or if you're really serious, you get a whole parts car. Yep.
Yeah. Why would you do
on a
that?
race weekend? You can totally find it.
Or 4 of them, perhaps. Maybe.
Depends on the car. Sometimes it might be worth it.
All the Solstice.
Cheaper to buy a whole car than to buy the parts individually.
I know. 2 cars. Great. Especially if you have the space. Why not? All right. Let's talk about how to store and transport. Some of it depends on how you can transport it. It depends on if you have an enclosed trailer or what you have to be able to get things places. But keep delicate bits safe. So plastic bins are awesome. Basically, if you have you can have one for each type of item that you need. Chris, we talked about lists. Are we going to get to that? Hopefully we are.
Yeah, but you can say it now. Why not?
But yeah, so we decided to like keep everything in a box and keep them like things together, which is awesome. If you have something that's fragile, make sure that you put it in some kind of packing stuff, even if it's just like a whole bunch of paper towels, if that's all you have, but making sure that things aren't going to get chipped away and shipped off, or if they're greasy, they don't get the whole bin greasy, things like that. Just like as you're packing, it just makes it just a nicer place to be, especially if you're kind of frantic and you need that one part and you're trying to swap it quick. If it's covered in grease and oil, you're just, it's going to make the whole job just that much.
Keep it in the original box it came in. And sometimes you can fit multiple in there. Like, for example, I have 2 spare tie rods in one box because they both fit, and 2 ball joints in a box because they both fit. And I wrote on it in big letters, ball joint, and tie rods.
Right. No, that's great. And especially for if you have multiple cars, maybe it's helpful to say, or if it's rights and lefts and they're specific, write that on the box. Like
each car should have its own box. That's
fine. But okay, you know what I mean. But but if they're rights and lefts, having that just clearly labeled, so you don't have to like search the package and say, I know that I had one of each of these. And especially these are good things that makes me think of the times when you have the people that you send somebody to go look go in the trailer, go in the top, or go in the bin and go find this stuff. I've been that guy to go be the looker, and it's not great. So if it's not labeled, if somebody has an idea and it's not labeled well, or if it's not evident, then it becomes difficult for other people to do the searching. Yes, Tim.
There was a team at Thunder Hill. We were searching for a part, and they had a sheet of paper, and they had a front suspension was the header, and then it had the list of the things for the front suspension with what bin it was in.
Oh, wow.
And then they had cooling system, and then they had brake system, and then they had fuel system. Like they had it categorized.
So their mom took the Tylenol basically when they were, yeah.
Really well done. I was like, wow, that's next level. I need to make some notes right here.
But it is, especially because usually the person that packed the spare package or knows where that is, they're the one under the car or in the engine bay.
Yep.
And the idea is that you're sending someone so you can get the car back out there on time. And I'm with Chrissy. I've been the one in the trailer going, what am I looking for? And, it needs to be dumb enough for a Georgia public school graduate to figure that out.
So last weekend, Mental said, can I go find the part in their trailer? I was like, well, by the time I tell you where it is, I've got it in my hand. So...
Yes, but there are plenty of times where you are not able to do that, or we can do the swap well enough that you can be the person taking things apart and somebody else can go find it. My last thing, and then we can talk about list, heavy stuff. We like milk crates. They're hard to find, but if you can find them, they're so dual purpose. You could stand on them when they're empty. You can, you can fill them with stuff. It's kind of nice to transport, and they clean off easily. Yeah, if you can find one, get it. Okay, lists. Yeah, Chris was just talking about keeping track of things on a list because you didn't realize you had spares that you didn't realize you had.
Yeah, I opened the box and I was like, oh, I forgot I had this stuff. Yeah, because I bought it a while ago when it was on clearance or something. So like, I don't remember. And then I go buying more of them. So yeah, just that's what I'm going to do at some point. Open Excel, get a friend, and make a list. What do you have? Print it out, tape it to the box. And then when you use it, mark it so you know to replace it.
So all of this depends on your packing style. It all depends on what you have to be able to pack. So if you have an enclosed trailer, you can just willy-nilly throw all this crap in. You have all your bins unlabeled and just chuck them in and pile shit on top of it.
Put all your wrenches in a bucket.
That'd be even better with bolts.
All your tools and sockets.
Yep, everything.
Magic trailer.
Just put everything in. No, he has some organization.
Oh,
he does. It's only a Bruce organization, but he has organization.
Makes sense to Bruce.
But there are people that just chuck everything in a trailer and use it as a storage space plus a car trailer. Or you can have some organization. So it seems like a great idea to just take take the weekend and organize so you have a clue of where things are. So, but if you have a not enclosed, then you have a different issue. You can't necessarily have the luxury of having things that are just out in the open. So you're gonna have to get a little crafty if you have an open trailer that you need to, get those lawn buckets, the black bottom, yellow top, really well sealing buckets, and just kind of stack them. And that might be how you have to transport, but then you have to get organized and you need to know what's in the boxes.
Yep.
Okay. Tim, do you want to
Spares maintenance. All right. You've got all of this investment that you've done in time and money. Take care of it. Keep it dry. Metal stuff needs oil. Like if you have pallet wrap things up. Like when I disassembled one of the Solstice, I would take the axles out. I'd put grease on them, and then I'd wrap them in saran wrap, and then pallet wrap the whole thing, and right on the outside of it what it is, right? So make sure you keep track of those things, and you've got them in good spots. If you are going to put a differential in a bin, make sure it's heavy duty so it doesn't poke through the bottom and then leak gear oil all over the side of your house.
Or just fall out when you pick it up.
Yeah, it just stays there and the bin just goes up in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Incidentally, and the site bins are wear items.
Sure.
And anyone that has worked for Lemons in recent years is so grateful that Rich is now in charge of all the logistics, because he went through and actually did like maintenance on the bins, and he checked it, and there's a standardized list of what goes in. Because early, like when we all started doing Lemon stuff, you'd reach into some of those bins and like, how did this even survive to get here? And why is it full of completely irrelevant things that instead of the paperwork that I need on that one? And those, and those bins get thrown around. You're putting heavy parts in them on the trailer, off the trailer, that kind of stuff. So check your bins in the off season.
For sure.
Yep. Check your bins.
Check your bins.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are going to have a spare expensive bit of combustion rolling around in your garage or outside, put a little bit of fog in the cylinders of that engine and turn it over. Make sure that it continues to do those things. And it's super important. If you are going to pull the motor, drain the oil out of it before you do that, so you don't create a huge oil spill all over the paddock, Dave. So that's an important thing to do. And also it'll keep your garage a little bit healthy and cleaner. If you've got things in stock, rotate through them. So like if you have all of these parts, like write down, when did this come off the car? What is it? It's unsure if this is still good. Like write it on there so because you won't remember. After you pull this thing off at 2:00 in the morning, after you've been laying on your back under the car and you've thrown a bunch of crap into a bin at the end of the race weekend, you are not going to remember. Write it down on the item or in the box or bin or whatever it is.
Yep. And you need a spare because, like Rob K said, I carried around a spare transmission for 10 years because T5. The one race I don't bring it along, guess what we needed? Guess what we now always take with us to the track?
There's no small amount of just superstition with some of this.
Yep. And, there have been so many ruined or saved weekends from this. Like I'll remember at Thompson, with our Civic, I had spare trailing arms because anytime they get touched, they bend. And they're not easy to find. You cannot get them at parts stores. Those are junkyard only.
And not most junkyards in New England. So
yeah, exactly.
It's like every once in a while you trek to go find them. Yeah.
So on Saturday afternoon at Thompson, we're sitting around, getting out of the car, cracking a beer, and we see the race leader's Civic come in, having taken some damage to one of the rear wheels, and they're significantly towed in. I'm like, I'm probably going to see them later. And sure enough,
We did. Yeah. No, not later. Like
10 minutes later.
yeah, like
Yep.
like out of the car, walk over
Yep.
later.
They said, "Do you have any spare trailing irons?" I'm like, "Yep, in the trailer on the left." And
If I remember correctly, like you did that, you didn't get up. You're like in the trailer on the left, and they like went in there, and it's like, oh, they are labeled. They're exact. Oh, and you've already done all the prep work on them, so it's like 4 bolts. This is like a 10-minute job now because they were thinking
Yep.
this is going to be all night because we're gonna have to press and do all.
had a new bushing in it.
No, and
Was
they
ready
had
to
already
go.
shipped one to your house like the week after.
I told them, either you buy me another one with the bushing, with the good quality bushing in it, or send me that one back. Your choice. So they actually sending me that one back with some like nice little stickers and a koozie and stuff from Detroit, where they're from, because they're nice guys and they appreciated that. So save someone else's weekend too.
Yeah. Knowledge of your spares. Say like you don't want to find out in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, that the alternator that is failing on your Cadillac rally car was a 1-year only alternator and is exactly 2 weeks from everywhere because no one can get that part and it just doesn't exist. So that not only ruined a week, ruined a rally, but also ended up contributing to a car being left on the side of the road in Arizona.
Allegedly.
Alleged. It went to live on a farm.
Did we get a citation or
Allegedly.
anything for that, or does it just go away?
Yeah. I there was nothing you could not prove I had anything to do with that vehicle. It was more or less.
Run away! Run away! That's so funny.
And this is not a defeatist note of caution. Understand that sometimes even the most well-equipped spares is just not going to save your weekend. Yeah, there's just sometimes it's too far gone. But understanding the difference of, oh man, if we'd had this $7 part, we'd still be out there versus the, oh, if I had brought an entire machine shop with me, we'd still be out there. So, and understand that line's going to move depending on what you're doing that weekend, how long you've been doing this, your familiarity with that project, all that kind of stuff. You're trying to save your weekend when it can be saved, but understand that sometimes the racing gods have just picked you to rip off that armband and start drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, like if we lunch a motor in the Mazda, we're done for the weekend. Because
Oh, no.
by the time you take, like, it's a long block swap that involves like timing covers,
And it also
like,
barely fits in the engine bay. It took us over a weekend to get it in and out, and it was a lot. And
I'd
rather do it at home.
Experienced people in a controlled environment, and it took over a weekend. Yeah.
That's why I'm building a spare that has all the modifications done to it to fit the 2.5 into the Mazda 3 chassis, so that if I ever need one, I've got one ready to go. But I haven't finished that one yet.
Yeah, but even then, could you, if you literally had the exact same motor on a stand in there, could you, and would you want to?
No,
Could.
I don't want to.
Once it's just, if I had the prepped motor ready, then it's a 3-hour job with a helpful friend.
Yeah.
But
when does it blow up? That's the question.
Always.
Is it 11 o'clock on Saturday? I might do it. Is it
Sunday at
11
all?
o'clock on Sunday?
Sunday at all?
No, not Sunday at all.
Sunday at all,
No.
we might still pull it because I've got all these people here and it's going to need to come out anyway.
Yeah.
So we might as well just get this out together.
Also, there's, we've all had those races that everything starting on the Wednesday before was just a grind, and you get to the track and there's just not a lot left in the tank, and something goes borderline catastrophically wrong 30 minutes before checker. Nope.
Nope.
Oh no, Chris puts tools away at noon. Like we were well packed up at HPR.
No, I'm
because
talking
if something-
Saturday. It
Oh,
pops 30
Saturday.
minutes
Oh,
left.
Saturday. We'll see. Yeah.
I'm not staying up all night doing this. If I'm there and I'm fresh, I'm game. But sometimes, no.
Yeah. Sunday, Chris calls it and says, "Nope, not fixing it. Driving in
If
the
it
trailer.
breaks
Something
enough,
happened." Yep.
It's
Now.
not getting fixed. So
Yeah.
if it's small, I can go still pull the couple tools out I need. That's it.
Or we're going to choose not to. Just park it.
All right, so we put in Hamsa's BMW at CMP's CMP. I'm trying to remember what race that was. And now
you weren't there at that point.
Oh, because you
somebody
broke it
already
and
left
then
after you
left.
blew the head
Oh.
gasket.
And saying the heat's spiking. It's fine. Send it. Are you sure? Are you sure there's nothing we need to be looking at?
Yep.
Yep.
And then apparently some BMW clutches, the instructions tell you to put them in backwards, which causes them to jam.
Which,
Yep.
yeah,
Anyway,
it's a pain.
but
So then we
there
did
have
it.
been so
and
many
it was
more
backwards.
times that spares have saved a weekend than not,
Yes.
than anything else. So
But just don't fall into that the overthinking trap of there will always be a time when having the right spares can fix it. But just learn the lessons when you can.
Yep. And if you
and I
don't know
think
what,
this entire episode has been just a tip, basically.
agreed. Yeah,
Sure.
it really is.
I would totally agree.
My one last thought was that if you are new to your car, if you're new to racing, and you're looking for a spare set, I would find somebody who has the same kind of car that you do and ask them. So you can understand what they think is the failure points on your car may not be, or probably not the same as other cars. So, understanding from what other people have learned and getting their ideas might be helpful so you can build your own spare set.
Great.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. That was just the tip. Do, 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 do.
I'm not hitting these all in.
Oh, fine.
Too many do-do-dos in this one.
Too many do-do-dos. All right, cool. All right. Well, hopefully you learned your lesson from what we've learned. So
Yes.
Get it together before your next race.
All right. Couple of things for folks to look out for. It is highly possible before you hear this show again, that you will know if you have been selected as one of the 40 entries into Laguna.
Well, I think we can't record next Wednesday because we got to be watching, right?
Correct.
Right. So we will not know who goes because we'll be watching after
Yeah.
the fact.
But so,
Unless we do a lot, like a show while we're watching.
I have to work.
We could zoom it. That's true. It
Why?
is pretty early.
What time is it?
They just said they're going to announce it on the 1st.
Oh, I thought it was at like 6 p.m.
Oh, maybe
I
it
think
is.
It is 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right? That's not.
maybe
Yes.
we can talk about it while we're recording.
Then we're distracted.
All right. Also, if you are not, perhaps consider going to your social media, particularly Facebook. Look up Project 213 because this weekend we are going to be trying to put a man in a car and make him the fastest one-legged veteran in a Volkswagen on the Salt Flats.
It's a very specific record.
Very specific. That's usually how most of these go. It's, unmodified chassis, modified engine, supercharged, altered, fueled. Yeah, there's a lot of that. So we're just going to get in the 150 club and then come home with a to-do list. But we're going to be in the Salt. We're doing it. It's going to be awesome. Check it out.
Yay. Have so much fun.
Yes.
Be safe. Don't die. How about that?
There we go.
Be safe, don't die.
Be safe. Don't die. And you guys too. Listeners, be safe. Don't die. Yay.
Great.
That's the point.
And if we missed anything, put it in the doodly doo. Let's hear about it.
Yeah. Valid.
Valid. Okay, great. Well, we'll see you later.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
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 Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, or even Reddit at /V1On. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up, unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels.
to Ironman, which we've got in the before